What's good guys, it's HowWeRolz here and welcome to the channel for another Setups Exposed video. So if it is your first time watching this series, the purpose of this series is not just to go over PC specs, but rather to go into the reasoning behind the component choices. This is directed at first time builders, so yeah, we all have different reasons for buying what we buy, whether it be price, aesthetics, functionality, etc. I just hope that some of the reasons given help you make your decision regarding your PC parts. Hopefully you guys can resonate with this. If you do enjoy this video, then be sure to smash that like button and subscribe for weekly videos. So today we'll be looking at my PC, the Thermaltake King. Yeah, for all you One Piece fans. I built this PC about 2 to 3 years ago, and the only major upgrade I've done is the GPU. So yeah, so let's start off with the heart of the build, the CPU. The Thermaltake King is sporting the well-known older Devil's Canyon i5 4690K. I haven't overclocked it because honestly I haven't really had the need to. It's got a base clock of 3.5 GHz and a boost clock of 3.9. It's handled everything I've thrown at it, and for editing it still performs well. However, I do see an i7 in the near future, or perhaps even a Ryzen CPU. I got this when it was on special, so price was a factor for me. I also went for the K version just so that I can squeeze out some extra performance if need be. I'll probably overclock this before I actually pick up a new CPU. Cooling the CPU is the Corsair H110i GTX. And once again, I got this just so that if I decided to overclock the CPU, temps will still be quite low. Honestly, I wish I had read more reviews and did more research on this. If you don't make your own fan curve in the software, this thing can get pretty loud. I shit you not, it creates a whirlwind sound. Luckily, I have created a custom fan curve, and this help keeps the noise to a minimum. If the CPU is under stress or reaches a certain threshold, the fans on the cooler pick up and it does get a bit louder. I haven't had it get loud or pick up past 40 degrees, so yeah, it's been quite quiet. And a beastly cooler. The stock CPU cooler just wasn't cutting it for me, and since I have a windowed build, this looks 10 times better. And with the color coming through of the logo, it looks pretty good. I would however recommend the H110i V2 over this one, as I think it's a bit less noisy. Getting to the juiciest part of a PC build, it's the GPU. Pushing all the gameplays that you see on my channel is the ASUS ROG STRIX GTX 1080 8G Gaming, or whatever that 8G is for. It has a core clock of 1759 MHz and a core boost of 1898 MHz, 8 GB of DDR5X, and it has RGB for days. All customizable in the ASUS Aura software. I'll leave a link to my unboxing video in the description. I actually had a GTX 970 super clocked from EVGA, but it was actually struggling to handle big open world games like The Division or Rise of the Tomb Raider, especially on my ultra-wide monitor. It would get really hot, reaching temps of about 80 degrees. With the newer games, I felt like the 3.5 gigs of VRAM was also taking strain. My 1080 right now shreds everything on ultra. I'm super happy with it. I highly recommend picking one up as they have just taken a price cut with the launch of the new 1080 Ti's, or maybe hold up and see what the new AMD Vega has to offer. It does look promising. My motherboard is the ASRock Z97 Extreme 4. You can see that I built this a while ago, as ASRock are already up to Extreme 6. I got this motherboard for its features and easy to use overclocking software. The M.2 slot, USB 3.0, SLI as well as Crossfire ready. I love the blue accents on the board and I'm 100% happy with it. If you are getting a Skylake or KB Lake or even AMD CPU, be sure to check what architecture the motherboard can handle. In my motherboard's case, it's the LGA 1150. Skylake and KB Lake are 1151. So moving swiftly along, I've got 8 gigs of DDR3 HyperX Fury RAM. Once again, look to see what RAM your motherboard can handle, whether it be DDR3 or DDR4. Most motherboards nowadays support DDR4. To be honest, I actually need to upgrade my RAM. 8 gigs is sufficient, but actually on the lacking side for editing and even some games. I know Wildland requires 8 gigs at least to be played on high settings, and with my GPU maxing out on Ultra, I definitely need to pick up some more RAM sticks. Forza Horizon 3 actually recommends 12 gigs of RAM. For storage, I have a 250GB Samsung 750 EVO SSD, as well as 2 Seagate HDDs at 500 gigs and 750 gigs. Honestly, 120 gigs will fill up faster than you think, so I recommend going for a 250 gig SSD. I only have my OS on it and some other necessary programs and games, and already it's quite full. I use Steam Mover to move my games between my hard drives and my solid state drive. I love the speed, nothing beats going faster. It is a bit pricey, but prices have come down since SSDs were first introduced. I did use my hard drive before picking up my SSD due to the fact that I did need to save a little. So budget or price was a concern for me. I'd rather put some of that extra cash into a better GPU or CPU. An SSD isn't a complete must. However, if you do have the cash to splurge, then I definitely recommend picking one up. Powering all of this is my EVGA 600 watt power supply. It has been great powering both my 970 as well as my 1080. I've had no issues. It's not modular though, meaning you can't remove the cables as you see fit. This is definitely a drawback as I don't even use all the cables, yet I still have to try and cable manage them so that everything fits nicely and looks neat. I would recommend a modular power supply that has at least 80+ bronze rating. So housing all of my components is the Thermaltake Versa U21. I absolutely adore this case. It's got 3 dust filters, the top, bottom and front. It supports up to 280mm AIO coolers or radiators. It's got a windowed side panel that's great for showing off your hardware, especially if it has RGB. It also has a power supply shroud which takes care of those unnecessary cables I was talking about. You also have SSD bays down inside the actual power supply shroud. And on top of that you can install a fan just above the shroud to help remove the heat being generated from the power supply and those HDDs or SSDs, which I thought was pretty cool. It has a nifty door in the front that you can open to access the front dust filter, and I also installed a LED strip to control with the remote that you can see from this video. I also have 2 of the Thermaltake RGB ring fans. Unfortunately I couldn't get the 3-pack, which was quite a pity because I have 2 separate fan controllers, one's just chilling now. But yeah, otherwise they look pretty cool, they go nicely with the Thermaltake case, and yeah. That's my PC in a nutshell, or in a Thermaltake case, guys. I hope you enjoyed that video, and I hope some of the reasons for perhaps my component parts help you make your decisions. And yeah, if you enjoyed that video, be sure to like, smash that subscribe button, and sharing is caring. Stay slaying, guys, because it's just how we rolls. Peace.